If you're weaning your child, this is such a delicious recipe. It's herb crusted cod fillets and roast butternut squash. So the first thing I'm going to show you and talk to you about is butternut squash. It's one of my favourite vegetables. Now you can make this recipe with roasted carrots, also you can do it with sweet potatoes. So it looks like this. This is quite a large butternut squash. You peel it with a vegetable peeler and be careful, take your time. Cut it into cubes. And what I've done is I've power cooked this. What that means is a saucepan of boiling water on, and I've literally cooked this for 3 minutes. So they're not fully cooked, but they're not raw. So that's what we call blanching off. I'm going to sprinkle this over a tray. So a nice sprinkling of this. What I'm going to do next is just to make my crust for the cod. I have a tablespoon of butter which is melted in the saucepan, and into that what I'm going to do is just chop some herbs. So I'm using a little bit of flat leaf parsley and also some chives. So just watch your fingers when you're doing this again. And put all those lovely herbs in there. Into the butter also, I'm going to grate the rind of 1 orange. So it works really well. And you think of like any kind of fish, you're always serving lemon or lime, something like that. But orange works particularly well in these crumbs. Watch your fingers when you're doing this. What I'm going to do next is just get my butter, and it's roughly about a tablespoon of butter, and then I'm going to stir it into my breadcrumbs. Mix this all through, and then that's going to soften the breadcrumbs, and it's going to give a lovely golden brown colour. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get my cod. I have the skin on, the scales are removed, but it's pin bone, so there's no bones whatsoever, and your fishmonger will do that. So hold the piece of cod, skin side down, 1 egg yolk, and then just simply brush the egg yolk on top of the actual flesh of the cod. Now very, very, very carefully, just simply sprinkle this over here. And just be really careful, bring it over to your tray, bring your tray beside you, and then just very carefully place your cod onto the tray. A little bit of black pepper, a little drizzle of rapeseed oil. The oven is preheated at 200, and that's going to take anything from 12 to 15 minutes until the fish is just cooked. So after 15 minutes, your cod should be beautifully cooked, and it really depends on how thick the cod fillet is. I'm going to show you how you test with the point of a knife. You just simply get it and go to the thickest part of the cod fillet, which is right in the middle, and you can see it just beginning to flake away there. That's beautifully cooked, it's really moist and it's succulent, and that's what I want. So first thing we do is just with a fish slice, now be careful, and just go underneath and you just very carefully lift the fish, and that goes just into the middle of the plate. Then with all this wonderful butternut squash, which we just really lightly, we pre-cooked it, so we blanched it off, and then we just simply arrange this around. If you want a little wedge of lemon, but we have the orange in the crust, which gives lovely taste, and of course helps the colour too. So there you have it, that's a very simple fish dish. That's my cod with the herb crusted fillets and roast butternut squash.
It's a very common question again that we get from parents is, when can I give my child fish? I suppose the answer is basically as soon as possible. We'd always start off weaning with introducing, your vegetables and your fruit first, but once they're established on them, get the fish into them and the meat as well. So this cod is a fantastic source of protein, and I love the fact that you haven't any salt in it, which is very important for weaning, just to add no salt at all in the diet. And the colour of that butternut squash is absolutely gorgeous as well. And it's rich in beta carotene, which is a really good antioxidant. Okay. So great for the whole family, not just for the weaning diet. So I suppose for your baby, they're obviously not going to eat this huge portion here that we have on the plate, but just to, cut it up into little bite-sized pieces, particularly for the older baby. They love to pick the food up themselves. So make it nice and small for them and easy to pick up with their fingers.
Great tip. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. So I hope you enjoy this dish at home. It's my herb crusted cod fillet.